Hey guys, what's going on? I guess we're at part 3. I'll give you a little update on what I've done. I didn't video a lot of this because mainly it was boring and it took a long time. But I got the valves out and I lapped them. And there's plenty of videos online showing you how to lap valves. And then I cleaned the head up, cleaned the piston up, cleaned the intake port up. I come over and I clean the magnet on the flywheel and clean the flywheel up a little bit. I've reinserted the valves and seated those, and that was a total pain. The tool that I built didn't work, sadly, because of the two tops where it was double layered on the top. It wouldn't go in, but I was able to use the bottom of the tool to be able to get them in, so it wasn't a complete waste. Now I put the head back on and torqued it. I'm getting ready to run a compression check, and then I'm going to drain the oil, clean the bottom of the crankcase out, and then put oil back in it, and then start redoing the carburetor, or putting the carburetor back on rather. So now let's run a compression check. I need to watch, as far as, it's hard for me to lift the motor off where it's so heavy. I need to watch when I'm moving it over that I don't drop it. Okay, now that I got it off, I mean, you can definitely see in there and tell that the piston's been replaced. I knew it had been, but the connecting rod and everything is just brand new. The camshaft, all the lobes look good on it. There's no scarring. Even the plastic gear on the governor looks good. So I was going to spray all this out with some like brake clean just to get all the guck out of it, but honestly it's so clean that I'm not going to do that, because the more you spray in it, the more it thins your oil out and you have to get it clean. So take a rag and wipe all that out. When I took it off, you can see that we left some of the oil pan gasket on, so I'm going to have to make a new oil pan gasket, which is no big deal. Okay, quick tip. When you're using a razor blade, it really doesn't pertain to this, but it might through here. The edges is what mainly gouge in to metal. So if you take a piece of rougher sandpaper and go back and forth, you can round the edges, and that means it's less likely to gouge in when you're using the razor blade. Okay, now that I have the pan out, it's a good opportunity for me to kind of bolt it in place and drill the extra hole right here that I need. And that hole right there, for some reason, it needs to be opened up. So I'm going to go in and grab the bolts, bolt it down, and drill the other hole. Okay, I got the two mounted down. So I'm ever slow. Drill bit's not long enough. Where is it? Well, that's enough to make the mark, so that's all I need that for. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's getting ready to start thundering real bad. So I need to get this done pretty quickly. Go ahead and drill that out. Okay, now I'm going to make the oil pan gasket. I should have shown this, but the best way to get old hard gaskets off is just with a wire wheel on a grinder. So now I'm going to make the gasket. This is not as good as like a store-bought gasket, but I don't have a lot of time, even though this is a winter project. I don't have a whole lot of time to work on this, because there's a lot of other projects that I should be working on. So you want to lay it over first. And the best thing to use is a ball peen hammer, but this hammer will work. And first off, you need to get a at least one corner hole done. Okay, here's a just a regular hole punch. If you don't have one of these, you can cut out the razor blade, or you can use a hole punch for like paper. But you want to get it about exactly where you'll need it. Make the mark. And you can punch the hole in it. Now I'll go ahead and make sure that I got all the holes lined up and that there's not any wrinkles. And where I squared it up on this edge and this edge, it made for an easy cut because I don't have to cut that edge or that edge. Now, a ball peen hammer is the best for this, but you can go through and just hammer all the way around, and it'll actually cut the gasket out for you. Okay, here we have my super ugly gasket. I went ahead and put some gasket maker on it just for good measure. And now, here comes the fun part. Okay, luckily, or mainly because I was hungry, I was able to let the blue glue or the gasket sealer cure before I come back down and tighten everything up. So I'll go ahead and tighten it down. I went ahead and put the carburetor back on. I put the valve cover on. What else have I done? I reset my points. The bolt that you adjust your points with is stripped for some reason. It's brand new. I don't think that I stripped it, but nevertheless it's stripped. So I'm going to have to deal with that, but I just can't stand it. I'm going to have to try to crank it. So I got it set, the gap set right. Now I'm going to get my spark plug and set the gap on it. Put fuel to it and see what happens. Let's see.